before I get started, I do want to just take a moment to thank the people who helped make this impact study possible, and also make sure that I have my technical things set up here. Great. So this study is, as Martina mentioned, monumental and wouldn't be possible without support from the Division of Arts and Culture, Department of State, the Collier Community Foundation, Florida Humanities, Collier County Tourist Development Council, Naples Children Education Foundation, Miracle Program, Gulf Shore Life, Thomas Riley Artisans Guild, all the arts organizations, artists, and supporters in our community, UAC's individual supporters, UAC's incredible board, staff, and volunteers, and anyone who has a Stay the Arts license plate as well. All of that goes into our general operating, which is what pays for this study, which we feel is really important to do. So with that said, what is AEP6? It is the Arts and Economic Prosperity Plan, and this is the sixth economic impact study, sharing results from 2022. So it's conducted approximately every 5 years to gauge the economic impact of employment, government revenue, household income, spending by nonprofit arts and culture organizations, and event-related spending by their audiences. Just a note about how the study operates. It is using an inclusive approach to building the list of nonprofit arts and culture organizations surveyed. We were encouraged to include organizations if they play a substantial role in the cultural life of the community, or if their primary purpose is to promote participation in, appreciation for, and understanding of arts and culture. It's important to note that this study excludes individual artists and the for-profit arts sector, meaning things like Broadway, concert tours, films, vital and valued components of the nation's arts landscape, but it's beyond the scope of this study. What that means is that if you think about what the arts are as a whole with the for-profit and not-for-profit, these numbers, of course, would soar much higher. But this is really focused on the nonprofit industry. I also want to take a moment to share a little video that was prepared for us by our partners at Americans for the Arts. So I will play this for you, which will just give an introduction to who they are. They are the ones who we partner with. We collect all the data here, and then we send it to them, and they prepare it and share it out for us. So here's a little bit about.
Hello, my name is Dr. Jenna Stiles-Lias, and I am the Director of AEP6 Community Engagement and Equity, and I am so glad to be here. Wow, we just did a huge study in partnership with Collier County. We are Americans for the Arts. We serve to advance and lead the network of organizations and individuals who cultivate, promote, and sustain and support arts in America. Founded in 1960, Americans for the Arts is the nation's leading nonprofit organization for advancing the arts and arts education through a multitude of different ways. One of the ways we do that is from AEP6. The Arts and Economic Prosperity Study 6 is an impact study of the social and economic impact of arts and culture in nonprofit industry. It helps change the conversation from arts being a charity to being something to invest in, to being an industry. And that's important because philanthropy dollars, public dollars, usually when we talk about arts and culture, it's like going into the black void. There's nothing that happens, there's no return. And AEP6 helps combat that idea and helps us advocate for arts and culture in a broader way. Over the course of about a year, the folks at the United Arts Collier helped us develop and collect surveys from audiences and from organizations across the county. And so we are going to dive in today. I'm really excited for you to enjoy today's presentations and celebrations of this data. We'll see you soon.
All right. So, as she mentioned, this is a really comprehensive study to give a picture of the work that Americans for the Arts is doing on the national level. You can see here that the study included over 16,000 nonprofit arts and culture organizations from 373 participating communities, representing all 50 states and Puerto Rico, communities ranging in geography from Alaska to here in Florida, Maine, Hawaii, populations ranging 4,000 to 4.7 million, and included almost 225,000 arts event attendees. The model used to complete this study is InPlan. It's an economic modeling platform with input-output analysis that are customized for each study region. These quantitative models measure the economic relationships between hundreds of different industries and geographic areas. This in turn enables localized and reliable economic impact results to be delivered. So, as she mentioned, why are we doing this? What is it showing us? It's showing us that arts and culture mean business here. It demonstrates that the investment in the arts provides both cultural and economic benefits, and the results are impressive. So here you'll see the national results. The sector, arts and culture sector, nonprofits, generated $151.7 billion of economic activity in 2022. That breaks down to $73.3 billion in spending by the arts and culture organizations and an additional $78.4 billion in event-related expenditures by their audiences. You can see it supported 2.6 million jobs, provided $101 billion in personal income to residents, and generated $29.1 billion in tax revenue. That's to local, state, and federal governments. So this, I think, confirms what many of us in this room already know, sort of intuitively, that the nonprofit arts and culture organizations not only bring beauty and enjoyment to our lives, they are impactful businesses in the community. They employ people locally, purchase goods and services from within the community, are oftentimes members of the Chamber of Commerce. They attract tourists to the regions with those numbers and expenditures of $78.4 billion nationally. They are leveraging significant amounts of event-related spending. Arts travelers are also ideal tourists. They spend twice that of other travelers from different industries. They stay longer and they spend more to seek out authentic cultural experiences. They yield big returns. In 2022, the combined direct arts funding is between 5 to 6 billion to 15 without the pandemic relief efforts. With pandemic efforts included, that goes up to 15 billion, but they yielded 29.1 billion in tax revenue. So with those numbers, we can reasonably and conservatively estimate that there was a 2-to-1 return on investment here. And that could go up to almost 5 if you're not including the pandemic relief, which was exceptional over this last study. Here in Collier County, we collected 20 organizational surveys with 797 audience surveys. We could not have done this without the cooperation and participation of these arts and culture organizations, and we are so grateful for your help. It is a tremendous lift. We are also grateful for all of the audiences that participated, took the time to complete this, whether attending a performance, event, exhibit, or attending a cultural event or activity here during the period from May 2022 to June 2023. I think it's worth mentioning that no estimates were made for non-respondents. Therefore, the less than 100% response rate suggests an understatement of the economic impact findings. And I want to take a moment to say a huge thank you to everyone who did participate here. You can see everyone who participated in this study from the organizational standpoint. Thank you for that. And also thank you, John and your team, and to our UAC staff and volunteers for tirelessly collecting those. Here are Collier County's results. So here we see the arts mean business. There was 147 million in generated economic activity. That is up from the 107 million from the last study. The Americans for the Arts are urging us to carefully consider the differences from the last study to this one. We have to keep in mind that there was a pandemic, and also here we, of course, had Ian. So until the causational data is studied, we're going to hit pause on making, sort of suggesting why all of this is. But for now, you can see the results from the last study and this study online. We'll be sharing this information out. But for now, this is significant. So the 147 million in generated economic activity in our county, of that, 102 million is from the arts and culture organizations, and 45 million is from its audiences spending. And then looking at the government tax revenue, so we can see 29.4 million in government tax revenue. That is also significant. Nonprofits, you might wonder why, because nonprofit organizations themselves are exempt from many of the federal and state taxes. So how do they generate tax revenue? Simply put, this comes from taxes on income, sales, and property, as well as funds from licenses, fees, and other similar sources. Like all employers, nonprofit arts and culture organizations pay payroll taxes, Social Security, Medicare. Employees pay income taxes on their personal earnings. And in addition, other local businesses are likely to pay taxes on goods and services they sell and provide to the nonprofits. When we're thinking about the taxes on that income, we can see that arts and culture organizations provide more than just employment for the artists and arts administrators. They also employ people like staff for box office, ushers, tour guides, custodians, web and graphic designers, marketers, accountants, printers, maintenance, plumbers, builders, varied occupations spanning many industries, all come together when we're thinking about how the arts interact with the community. Right, so resident household income, of course, includes salary, wages, and entrepreneurial income paid to the residents. It is the money individuals earn personally and then used to pay for food, mortgages, and other living expenses here. I think it was important to note the volunteerism as well, and proud of our volunteerism in this community. The 20 participating organizations in Collier County reported an average of 76 volunteers, contributing an average of 30 hours each for a total of 2,339 hours per organization during 2022. The independent sector places the value of an average volunteer hour in Florida at $29.41. So that ends up coming to a $1.4 million value here. And in-kind contributions here can be a variety of sources. Here is the overview of our numbers here, which makes a difference here in Collier County. We can see that the price per person per event that's spent here, this is beyond the price of admission. And what's happening here is that the arts and culture drive commerce to local businesses. So when people attend a cultural event, we know going out to dinner or going out for a drink or parking, paying for a babysitter, all of these things go into what happens when somebody experiences an arts and culture event beyond the cost of admission. And these dollars represent vital income for local merchants and a value add in the community. And I think it's interesting that we had higher than national average non-local attendees. The national average was 70% local and 30% non-local. In Collier, it was 60-40. 45.1% of non-local attendees reported that their primary purpose of their visit to Collier County was to specifically attend the performance, event, exhibit, venue, or facility where they were surveyed. And that helps contribute to our $45 million event-related spending here. Of the 40% of Collier arts and culture attendees who are non-local, 11% reported an overnight lodging expense as a result of attending the event that they were surveyed at. They spent considerably more money during the visit, obviously, than others who did not report that spending. With an average, this 169 is an average number. For the purpose of this analysis, only one night of lodging expense was counted. So I think it's reasonable to assume that this number is actually higher when we look at the price of a hotel room, which is about $300 here in Naples and Collier. And looking at all of this data and in terms of the economic impact, there is also a social impact that's really important to note. So there are feelings in the community about what the arts mean. 84% said this venue or facility is an important pillar for me within my community. 86.7% would feel a great sense of loss if this activity or venue were no longer available. And 88% felt that the venue or activity is inspiring a sense of pride in this neighborhood or community. The arts and culture build empathy and understanding. 72% agree arts and culture provide shared experiences, and 63% believe arts and culture help them better understand culture in their community. They also build more livable communities. So 79% believe arts and culture is important to their community's businesses, economy, and local jobs. And 86% of people say arts and culture is important to their community's quality of life and livability. These are very near in relation to the national numbers as well. So it's not just here in Collier County. People have strong feelings about how the arts impact their lives nationwide. I've got a number of additional quotes and comments that I hope you'll take time to read. We will be sharing out these slides so that you'll have all of this information in your possession. I also will be including links to gather more information. There is online, there's a calculator where you can look at how Collier County fares compared to other counties and other participating communities nationwide. You can also do projections and to see for each individual organization how different numbers will impact your predicted outcomes for the future, which is going to be a useful tool for everyone here. When you're looking at the calculator, they've created ratios so that you can compare apples to apples here. So it's per $100,000 of spending, and then you can see these numbers side by side. I want to thank you again for being here, and I do hope you'll take the time to read the overwhelming support and partners that we have in the arts, and also let us know why the arts matter to you. Please go online, use these tools that are available to you, and make sure that you're getting out and enjoying all of the incredible offerings that Collier County offers in arts and culture. We have such extraordinary organizations and opportunities and artists. Be an advocate for the arts. Help share this information with your elected officials. Sure appreciate Commissioner Cole being here, and share with others that can make a difference for all of us. And let them know, you make it personal. Help people understand why this matters to you, and also share this information, please. So with that said, just wrapping it up to say, I hope this helps you see that when you support the arts in Collier County, we're really investing in our community's economic well-being and the social impact that it makes here. Thank you for coming to be a part of this study presentation and for making a difference in Collier through the arts. And thank you so much, John, for your partnership on this as well. And with all of that said, next I'll bring you John Melicky, Arts and Culture Manager for Collier County, to present our Arts and Culture Strategic Plan, what we do about it next.
Thank you, Alicia. Well, welcome everyone. I am John Melicky. I'm the Arts and Culture Manager for Collier County. and I'm part of the Convention and Visitors Bureau. I'm also currently serving as one of the two interim co-directors of tourism currently. And I want to introduce Sandra Rios, who's here, and she's the other co-director as well. She's also our PR manager, so thank you very much, Sandra, for coming. So this is an exciting time for arts and culture here in Collier County. And it really started a couple of years ago. And what I want to do is just take a few moments and go through our strategic plan that was done through your work, through the organizations and the people in this room to really build this initial plan and that we can really build arts and culture here in Collier County. So the plan was created in 2018 and 2019. Organizations were getting together, and they wanted to really see how the arts and culture sector could be important here in Collier County. 24 organizations had individuals represent themselves and come to get together and discuss arts and culture. There were community input sessions throughout the county, and they devised this plan that was presented and then approved by the Collier County Commissioners in March of 2020. And I want to say thank you to the organizations and the representatives who worked together to build this plan. The plan has a vision. First of all, it includes creativity, that Collier communities are vibrant hubs for local arts and culture, heritage, and creativity, each providing varied experiences for residents and visitors. Second, Collier communities are connected and work together to promote their unique cultures to residents and visitors and building economic vitality for all. Third is celebration. How the communities work together collectively and collaboratively and celebrating the culture, the places, the arts, the history, and creativity of what we have to offer. These collective celebrations have been important in the implementation of this plan, and we'll talk about that because really that's one of the important key factors today, is that collaboration and people working together. And finally is coordination. Collier creative businesses, organizations, artists, and industries thrive throughout coordination with one another and partnerships with other economic sectors, as we just heard. So really there are 5 goals in the plan. And we'll quickly go through, under each main goal, there's different strategies, and we'll talk about that and what has been going on. The first one is building the foundation. Strategy 1.2 was, first of all, to designate the agencies and the budgets. When this plan was created, the next question was, how do we implement it? What was that foundation and how was it set? So before it could be started, that plan had to be created and developed. And this took time. My job was created from the beginning of this plan. And in 2022, I was hired to take on this task of implementing the plan. Alicia started with United Arts Collier in November of 2023. And through that time, we were kind of developing what the plan should look like and how the activities would be developed and how we work together. And that's an important thing, that we work together, both in my position and Alicia with United Arts Collier, to then build out the plan and make it a reality. As you know, United Arts Collier is the local arts agency. The second strategy is to update the Tourist Development Council grant programs. And part of this is due to the fact that the Tourist Development Tax Grant Program is one of the only funding areas for the arts and culture and their programming in the state, in our locality. So it's an important component of it, and really it's helped build our community over time. And just to really quickly go through what the different areas of the tourist tax grants are, because people don't understand that. First of all, the tourist taxes are collected by people coming to visit, and they stay in hotel rooms. 5% of the hotel room rate is then collected into the tourist development tax. From there, it's then divided into different buckets that then are used for different programs. 14.28% go to physical and capital projects, and currently that is the sports center and the Paradise Coast Sports Complex. 7.68% go to our county museums. 1.91% go to non-county museums, and that's part of the arts grants program that you know of. 35.7% go to promote and advertise tourism and convention bureaus. This is used for our marketing grants and also sponsorships that the CVB does. It also runs the CVB organization. 3.58% go to beach park facilities, and 38.98% go into beach maintenance and renourishment. What this does for our residents is that it keeps the tax base low because the tourists are helping fund a lot of things that happen here in Collier County. And that way, their taxes aren't going up. Our beaches are renourished, we have sports facilities, and we are able then to provide, through your work, building exciting activities and events that they can attend. So really, with the Tourist Development Tax Grant, it started in about 2000. And over the past 20 years, it's been going on and really helped build Collier County as it is today. In the beginning, organizations such as the Naples Botanical Garden, the Conservancy of Southwest Florida, the Children's Museum, and Naples Zoo received dollars, especially in those early years, from about 2000 to about 2008, to really help build their exhibitions and build their facilities. Over time, then also organizations that ran festivals and events could have money into what's called the marketing grants. But really, by 2018, organizations were not participating as much. The level of excitement and activity really had dwindled. And by spring of 2020, only 5 organizations were participating in the program. So you can see, as about the time this strategy was being created, that not many people were participating. It was one of my duties to find out why. And part of this was the way that the program was structured, and other reasons including the forms and steps needed for the reimbursements. So in 2022, we started the process of redefining this program, and we expanded the definition of a museum so that performing arts organizations could be included as non-county museums. And that's really the first time that the performing arts could be included in the grant program. Also, funds can be used for marketing programs, but then also as other ways and to fund both exhibitions and performance exhibition costs as well. And that was an important component that was there, but then not there, and we needed to make it equitable for performing arts organizations and also the museums. So that first year, in spring of 2022, 14 organizations participated in the grant program. And last year, in 2023, we had 13 organizations participate in the grants. So we are starting to meet this goal of really including more organizations, making it more equitable for everyone. And also what's important is you can see from the graph that as the tax dollars increased, we were able to give away more dollars and really help those organizations. It went from $400,000 in 2020 and 21 to over $824,000 this year. But we're not stopping there. The program's going on. We implemented an online application, and now we're including an online final report that the organizations will fill out. Because what we want to do is show how the money is being spent, and really then what are the measurable results of the activities. That includes marketing goals and marketing measures and things for the organizations. And having it online will allow us then to analyze the data in a better sense. We're also making sure of how other organizations can participate, how newer activities can be funded, and also reviewing the results so that we're really making sure we are using the money to its best ability and that we are good stewards of the dollars that are being awarded. And part of this also relates to the next strategy. That strategy is metrics and baseline of cultural tourists and their economic and fiscal impacts. That's great, but what does that mean? So it is about the data we're collecting and how it is used to develop and create communication strategies. Data is critical to making decisions and seeing how people are coming to the events, whether it's residents or tourists. In 2022, we worked with our tourism questionnaire and really revamped it so that arts organizations could have more abilities to be included and find out why people are visiting. We, as the CVB, also created a short questionnaire for the arts organizations that could be used to get certain measures and information, and then a longer one with more detailed information and demographics. This is available for every arts organization, whether they're in the grants program or not. We want the data. We think data is important. And we can utilize our research firm to attend different events throughout the year and to obtain visitor data that then can be given back to your organizations at no charge. We're starting to obtain these results, and now we can have consistent data moving forward so that we can analyze and develop the metrics and the baseline that this strategy implies. And also for economic impact, we are now using something called the Destination International Festival Events module. I can see everyone's excitement on their face. But it's really an important tool. It's there and helps measure the economic impact in a way that's used with different modeling and is an industry standard and really can help us show that economic impact even when the AEP studies are not going on. So for the future, what we're going to do is analyze the data collected and make changes to the questionnaire as needed. Because with all of this and with all of these different programs, it's as we build what's happening, get the results, get the data measures, and see what needs to be changed. And constantly monitor what's happening so that we can be vibrant and moving and changing and really answering the questions that we need to know. Some next steps in this strategy include that still need to be implemented as so much more arts and culture representation on various committees. How do we implement the AEP6 study results that we just listened to? How do we maintain standards of artistic excellence? And how do we work to eliminate barriers to inclusive cultural experiences? Some of these are already going on. They're being done by you, the various organizations, and that's important. So how do we tell those stories and really move forward on this strategy? The second goal is to establish Collier County as a cultural destination. This goal has also seen a lot of movement over the past 2 years. And it really helped involve the framework that we created and really with the CVB and how do we promote tourism and promote the arts and culture organizations, how that became an experience throughout the county. So the first strategy is to identify, develop, and promote unique and distinctive arts and cultural experiences throughout the county. And really the first step was from the arts organizations themselves. In about the spring, summer 2022, they wanted to create a way to work together. And the first thing that they thought of was to have an ad that could be in their arts programs throughout the year that showcase the arts. And we all came up with a tagline called Collier County is Culture. So that ad campaign started in 2022 with all the different logos of the organizations. And now in 2023, we really morphed it into another way so that each organization could have a picture representing their own arts programming and what they do for the public, for the residents and the tourists. So this is the second year, and it's a great program to really showcase the arts and that the organizations are working together. Another thing that we've done is we started working with the Southwest Florida Hotel Concierge Organization to really show them what the arts and culture sector does here. So then as people come to visit, they can talk about the different experience that they are experiencing. We've done 2 events so far, and we look forward to doing more as part of this program. Also with Strategy 2.1 was how do we develop and promote unique and distinctive arts and culture experiences throughout the county. Moving forward, both the United Arts Collier and ourselves on our ParadiseCoast.com websites have different website upgrades going on currently that showcase different event listings. And a future goal that we have is how do we work together so that you as the organizations can input data once and it goes to both organizations so that you're not having to enter things twice onto 2 different platforms. Another strategy that we have is identify, develop, and promote unique, distinctive arts and cultural experiences, but expanding current promotions. So this is an exciting thing. What happened now with the advertising is how do we tell the arts and culture story outside of our community? And part of that, the CVB in 2023 started using cultural ads such as this one to really showcase arts as a tourism venue and really to showcase the arts. This ad was placed in Latin American Art magazine in December as Art Basel was going on in Miami, because we know that a lot of our drive market comes from Miami to come and visit us for different times throughout the year. In late 2023, we're also then developing arts and culture into our regular ad series. And then also, we just implemented a digital campaign about general arts and culture that's kicking off in the next week that then can help promote arts and culture to our different target markets for tourism. But perhaps we've talked about a lot of different things. I think one of the greatest things with the plan and that we've accomplished is our next strategy. And that is connect the unique cultures of Collier through community-wide events. And really, that was the creation of Arte Viva. And as you know, as the plan was being devised, the organizations were getting together and really talking about ways that their programming could intertwine and collaborate. And through Arte Viva, that collaboration started. And as time has gone on, they decided the organizations wanted to really showcase Hispanic arts and culture. And as coming on board and really developing, we developed a brand, the images, and the name of Arte Viva to really showcase Hispanic arts and culture. It was implemented in early 2022, and we had a fantastic first year. That allowed the organizations to work together again. 20 organizations were involved. 293,000 people visited the various events throughout the year. Different ad campaigns, both digitally, billboards, print, had 58 million impressions in one of the top ad campaigns we did last year. Arte Viva has also been recognized in the state and internationally with marketing awards in the festival industry. And now we're in year 2. What we've done is also include different campaigns to grow this. You see digital ads that are now running for the second year of the campaign. Our Meet the Artist series started last year with Arte Viva, and that is really going and interviewing different artists and about their culture on the Hispanic lens and the Latin American lens to really showcase their art. That was so successful with Arte Viva that we've expanded it this year, and we've also now started it with artists here in Naples to really showcase a way for people to meet the artists of our own community. More organizations are included in this second year of Arte Viva. The Naples Zoo is now involved with their South American exhibition. 3rd Street South became involved. Method and Concept have a Dia de los Muertos event. And that, we see this going into year 3 as well because Dia de los Muertos is a big event here and is becoming bigger and bigger with more and different organizations running different things in the fall. So we see this really growing into year 3 and working with the organizations to really move forward into more of Arte Viva, but then also how does it relate to other celebrations? Are there other things that can be done? Organizations have had different ideas, and it's really then taking that and making it a reality. Strategy 2.4, create and enhance vibrant arts and cultural hubs throughout the county. Part of this strategy was the creation of a public art committee for Collier County. And this committee is still in its early stages. And what we're doing is building a foundation of policies, procedures, and methods so that we're there as a resource center for artists, individual artists, businesses, and organizations of how to maneuver and create public art. And we are excited that 2 pieces have been installed over the last year. Martha Cantu's mural, which you see above, is on the 7-Eleven in Immokalee and really showcases the history and culture of the Immokalee area. And also Michelle Tricca's Face of Immokalee is both on the Littman Farms building. It's also on trucks that Littman Farm drives around the country and is currently installed at Artist Naples, the Baker Museum. Next steps in this strategy include developing and designating a program for cultural districts, developing live-work areas for artists, and developing amenities along the Paradise Coast Trail. Our third strategy, broaden and diversify the visitor base. So first of all, how do we market Collier County as a unique arts and cultural destination? For our partners, we now have arts and culture on our website that they can go and find out information and gather resources that they can then use to help market themselves. We provide newsletters and information to organizations and provide ideas for partners to be included in the initiatives mentioned. We meet with organizations and include them in our partner workshops and seminars. As news warrants, we have an email newsletter that goes out to arts and culture and those interested in it, whether you're an individual artist, an organization, or a business entity. The surveys I talked about earlier are also important for this step. We're just starting to obtain information from organizations and seeing what their visitor patterns are. One success story that I want to mention real quickly is Opera Naples and their festival Under the Stars. This is a unique festival because it is the only festival in the winter where you can see opera out of doors. So from their early surveys, we found that 20% of the people that attended that event came to that event, and that was the purpose of their visit. So we can see how that can grow over time for each of our different arts organizations. So data is important. We're going to be collecting more intercept data, which is one-on-one individual data at different events. And if your organization is interested, you can contact me at the end of this, or I'll have my email that you can get involved and really utilize our data research team to help collect data for you. Next steps in this area include plans at marketing various arts events throughout the United States and providing digital advertising for them throughout our destination. We did a test market of this at Art Basel back in December, and it was very successful. And also in the summer, we did Shakespeare in the Park to really showcase how cultural advertising could be through a digital lens to the people going to different activities throughout the United States. Those were successful, and we're looking at really building that throughout the year. We're also looking at ways to build group meeting business that is related to the arts sector. And then also from our data, we want to create a tourist profile and then build marketing plans to meet those goals of that tourist profile. Our fourth goal is enhance the cultural vitality of Collier County for residents and businesses. And really, this is still a project in the works. And it includes, how do we market to our residents? You know, I've talked a lot about the tourists, but how do we get more residents involved, and how do we get the message out to residents? And part of that was we'll work with United Arts Collier in a cross-section forum for stakeholders. We'll support capacity building and development of organizations and facilities. We're looking at ways to develop more collaborations of artists with local businesses, and we want to promote the intersections of arts and health. And finally, our last goal is to provide necessary and public and private resources. This, we still have areas to work on. And what has been implemented so far, you know, the advertising campaigns have been funded through the CVB and our initiatives. And what we need to do is work together with United Arts Collier to develop a cultural trust for the arts. And by working with them, seek to obtain additional support from community, state, and federal resources. So what does this mean overall? We have built a strong foundation for the plan. You know, the initial steps have started. We really exceeded where we thought we would be in certain areas, especially the different festivals and events and the collaboration. And I think that's an important key, that this plan is being successful because of the organizations here. That collaboration and that working together, there has created an excitement here in Collier County about arts and culture. And it's all of us working together and taking that positive influence and going out into the community. New ideas are forming, and with that, we expect this plan to grow and succeed even more. There's an excitement in the air with this change, and we thank all of you for being a part of that. It's an exciting time here in Collier County for arts and culture. And because we know, and we're starting to tell everyone, Collier County is culture. And I want to thank you very much.